All right. So let's talk. All right. So, what do we expect? Say hi, Rosie. Hi, Rosie. My baby dog. All right. So, why are we doing this? When it's all said and done, what do we expect Iran to look like? What are our strategic objectives? That's the conversation that we need to have. You know, what we know is, according to our government, our objectives are tactical. We destroy their ballistic missile arsenal, which we've done all we can on the surface. Everything else is buried in the mountains. We have to neutralize their navy and drone capabilities. We've destroyed as much of their navy besides their fast boats and their drone capabilities, which a lot of their factories are in the mountains. So we can't do that from the air anymore. Our goal is to, accompany that by destroying Iran's ability to project power. So, destroy ballistic missiles, destroy navy and drone capabilities, and destroy Iran's ability to project power. Those are three things, right? They're all really pretty much the same thing, and none of them can be done without a ground invasion. We also are supposed to dismantle regional proxies, which they have regional proxies in Yemen, Iraq, Lebanon, Gaza. I mean, I'm sure there's some in Golan Heights and West Bank. So, how is this not a forever war? Our goals are to target the IRGC and the internal security forces. We've blown up all the police that we can. The rest of them are buried underground in the mountains. And we're supposed to secure maritime pathways from Iranian naval threats. They don't have a navy, but they have naval drones. They have air drones and missiles that we can't seem to hit from the air. So we have to send troops. So without a strategic objective, we just keep expanding tactical objectives. This is like, it's called mission creep. Just keep expanding the objectives and reinforcing things that, because we can't just admit that we lost. And we can't just run away because they're going to keep bombing everybody and they're going to continue to hold the strait hostage. We have air superiority. We have naval superiority. It's costing us an arm and a leg. We have Israel exploring their theory to kill enough of them, and eventually you'll find moderates. The more you kill, the more radical they become. No, that's not really good. Operational objectives seem to be try to encourage internal division. First, we encourage them to rise up and protest, which got, I don't know, they estimate like 35,000 protesters got murdered by the IRGC and police forces supporting them, thinking they were trying to overthrow the government. And we encouraged them to do that, saying we would have their back. We didn't have their back. So we want to encourage internal division by arming extremist groups like the Kurds, the Balochi, find some moderates to stand against the IRGC and the clerics. None of these are quick. None of these can be done with air power or sea power. So if we think about deploying Marines, we're deploying 2,500 Marines. Okay, 2,500 Marines. In perfect conditions, maybe they can hold a defensive front of 15 miles. Perfect conditions on a flat ground. Maybe Karg Island, That's it. But they have to, if we expect them to put their lives in harm's way, they have to be able to defend against drone swarms and ballistic missiles. If we take Karg Island and Iran has an existential threat that they will no longer be able to export, from Karg Island, what makes you think they're not going to just blow it up? How does this not escalate further? They can't. This doesn't make sense, y'all. There's no strategy. There's no thought process. So we're going to send a bunch of helicopters and Air Force to try to, as soon as they launch a ballistic missile, then we're going to attack it. like we've been doing. We've hit 7,000 sites. They can still launch. And now we found out they can hit further. They can hit almost 4,000 kilometers away. What is it? Diego Garcia Air Force Base was targeted. On top of that, if you ask Trump, we've destroyed all of their military capabilities, their air defenses, everything. But an F-35 was just shot down. So are they just hiding? Because strategically, if it was me, I would tell you that Iran is playing this whole thing with their arm and leg tied behind their back, because they know if they kill too many Americans, they're going to rally the Americans against us. They know if they kill too many of their allies, they're going to rally their allies against them. But if they just threaten them, they're just going to destabilize things, right? They could cause some crazy damage, but they're not. They're just going to tax this thing, and they're going to force people to do what they want, okay? Because Iran has their pressure points. They can threaten energy infrastructure. They've already done it. That we've seen almost $1 rise in gas prices in the States, and we have the lowest gas prices almost in the world right now. And they can always threaten regional instability, so they're attacking all of our allies. Our allies are losing $1 billion a day, okay? Crazy. And they can force Strait of Hormuz traffic to do business in Chinese currency, yuan, taking money out of the dollar, right? And they charge in taxes, $2 million per boat to sail your boats through in and out. And they still have their proxy forces in Yemen, where they could threaten the Red Sea, the Bab el Mandeb Strait, Israel, or even Suez Canal. And that we're going to see numbers go that we can't even imagine. There is no way with 2,500 Marines and our Air Force that we can secure 100 miles of coastline along the North Shore, much less anything else. This is scary, and this is ridiculous. We look at this, okay? The things that we know from the people involved. The UN Security Advisor, Jonathan Powell, he was involved in helping mediate the talks between U.S. and Iran. He perceived Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff to acting like Israeli assets more than people with U.S. interests in mind. Add to that the testimony that Tulsi Gabbard stated that Iran's nuclear program was obliterated in June, and there were no attempts to rebuild the program. Add to that the resignation of the U.S. Director of National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent. And he literally said, Iran posed no immediate threat, and in his opinion, we entered this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. And high-ranking Israeli officials and influential members of the American media deployed a misinformation campaign that wholly undermined the America First platform and sowed pro-war sentiments to encourage a war with Iran. This echo chamber was used to deceive Trump, okay, into believing Iran posed an imminent threat to the United States and that you should strike now and there was a clear path to a swift and easy victory, which we know was a lie. So it's easy when you think about it. Trump said that he was asked, and Trump said he liked the guy, but he always felt he was weak on security. Why would you nominate a guy that is weak on security to leave a counterterrorism center? But Trump seriously believed that if we didn't hit Iran within 2 weeks, they would have had a nuclear weapon. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. I don't know. Grow your food, buy some solar panels, do whatever you can, because they cut all of this additional projects that Biden had approved to reinforce our energy grid with solar and wind. But now, since we've moved towards coal, they're boosting coal, and they're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to see energy costs right coming into summer go crazy. And we still haven't even talked about food costs, y'all. It's there's no end in sight. Pray for your friends, pray for our troops, pray for all the people across the whole world. Gaza's getting destroyed. Lebanon's getting destroyed. We're bombing Iran. There's already over 2,000 people on the other side dead. There's probably like 7 or 11 Israelis and something like 13 Americans. I guess it's crazy. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary.